Hi Leo, welcome to your end of August 2020 General Tarot Update. It's Raina here. Happy birthday to you late Leos. Okay, so the heart of the matter, or the matter at hand, is the Queen of Swords. This is somebody who is steeling themselves to make a decision. And they may have been put through the ringer in some way. So I don't know if you have been, and you are like feeling that you have to make this decision, but something else is tugging at your heartstrings. So it doesn't necessarily make it that easy to do this. And I'm just going to bring in the past that may be influencing this situation at hand. Is a Nine of Cups. This is the card of getting what you want. The card of that, the cup runneth over, of something really great in your life. And that sounds really wonderful. But let's say it's love, because with cups, it's going to be emotion. And let's say you have met somebody and you feel love for them, but you're with somebody else. Well, obviously that's going to present a problem, isn't it? Or you have your dream job offered to you, but you're currently working somewhere else. This may be all that you've ever wanted, but there is still something that is making you hold back. What could that be? Well, just knowing Leo is a ambitious sign. It's a confidence sign, but you're a fixed sign. So you tend to like to preserve the status quo. And that's what fixed signs do. This is like how you're wired. This isn't something bad. There are many times when this works in your favor, where it gives you the ability to withstand rejection and failure and still kind of like push ahead, and you eventually succeed. It gives you that endurance and that, stick-to-itiveness, and that is nothing to sneeze at. But even if you get what you want, that's what the Buddha said, that was one of the causes of suffering, getting what you want, because then it opens a whole new can of worms. Like, okay, now what? Now I have met the love of my life, but am I going to break up my family? Can I do this? Or this job seems like my dream job, but what if it isn't? Yes, sometimes you do have to step out in faith. But actually the Queen of Swords, Swords is about your mind, and you can definitely, it's actually about being very mindful of, intellectually engaging this issue for this decision, because the Queen represents the water element. And so when we want something emotionally, it can come from a place of, I don't like to say this, but I really do feel that there's an irrational component to it. And sometimes we do need to put that aside. However, if you follow the law of attraction, you may have heard of the emotional GPS system. I think Abraham Hicks talks about that. And so emotions can certainly guide us to where we should go. It's just that it can be sometimes a situation where it's not guiding us in the right direction, where it's more like sentimentality, or something that, we're remembering the good times of a situation. So if this is a relationship issue, you may be thinking about the good times in your current relationship and conveniently forgetting that you have been basically unhappy in that union for quite a while. And something beautiful has come along, but because there are no guarantees, you're questioning it. And I do think that we should question things. I don't think we should just jump into things without thinking about them. But that might be kind of what you're dealing with in one way, shape, or form. The way to look at this from the bigger picture is the Queen of Wands. As I always believe that this is Leo because of the sunflower. Officially, I think it's supposed to be Sag, but we can just say it's fire energy. And the Queen of Wands, again, we have another queen. So this idea of somebody in a position of authority. This is actually, to me, a card of coming into your own. And for instance, if you have an offer for a job that is kind of what you have been dreaming of, the Queen of Wands is about having that confidence to be able to step into that without being fear-based. And confidence meaning that you trust in, it's really an interesting combination here because we have the fire element and the water element. The water element to me is the intuitive, and that's what the Queen represents. The fire, the wands, is about the confidence, the independence, the sense of autonomy, self-empowerment, and those two elements coming together and making you not only tuning into this at a deeper level, but also on the outer level that you're able to feel like you deserve it, like you can do it, like you have the stuff it takes to do this job, and that there's nothing to fear, that if God forbid something were to not work out, that you would be still able to bounce back in some way. And sometimes, let's face it, sometimes things may not work out the way that you had hoped. And that job is just like a stepping stone, or maybe you could call it a catalyst, or that relationship doesn't work out that you were hoping was the one, but it's a catalyst for you to get away from a situation that wasn't working out. And so it wasn't a meaningless kind of meandering away from something important. It was actually an important part of your journey. And so you might not see it in the current moment. It might take a while, because I know that has happened to me, and in the moment, or even within a year or more, you might still see it in a kind of myopic way, and later on you're like, oh yes, that was a great decision I made. I made the best decision. I questioned my actions when it didn't quite work out, but I feel like it was all what it was, that everything unfolded like it was supposed to. And so what's coming in is represented by the Sun card, and this is a card of like kind of everything good. So love, prosperity, success, joy, creativity, children. And I was even getting a vibe here that this could be about having children, whether or not to have children, because a Queen of Wands can be like a working mother. And so if that has been a decision, what you're going to do about it, then perhaps that is about, yes, I am going to go for having a child now. I'm not going to fear that it's going to hamper my career. And what we have as the outcome is an interesting card, the Four of Swords, which is a card of recuperation. Maybe it's a respite. Maybe you're taking time off from work to recharge your batteries. So one thing I didn't say is the Sun card can be a card of healing. I wonder if this is like I don't know if this is true of all sorts, but I know like the Three of Swords can be like a heart surgery. So I don't know if this could be like some kind of surgery that you're undertaking, and with the Nine of Cups, that could be due to having a bit of being overly indulgent. Sometimes the Nine of Cups can indicate excess. So like getting, well, I don't want to say, because I don't want to like endorse anything, but if this is something that somebody is doing, like getting their stomach stapled or something, you know, but I mean, I'm not saying that that's necessarily a good thing or not, but, you know, because the indulgence, that's the kind of thing that has to be curbed within the person's habits, and you can't do that you know, artificially. And some people have found that out when they've had those kinds of stomach stapling or whatever they do now. But in any case, that may be like if this is something elective where you don't have to do it right now. The Queen of Wands, you may be concerned about how it's going to affect your career, but the Sun card indicates that success is yours regardless. And the Four of Swords is about resting afterwards, if you're having surgery or if you're just needing to recuperate from something. With the Nine of Cups, you may have a lot of things to celebrate, and perhaps maybe even some time in between. If this is a new position that you are thinking about taking, perhaps you have this time, if you decide to quit your current job, that you can use for like rejuvenating yourself. But this is not necessarily going on vacation in the classic sense. This is more of like serious contemplation and maybe a retreat that has a like kind of, what I'm thinking of is where there's not a lot of communication. Maybe even that, what is that called? I can never pronounce it. Vipassana meditation, where they take away your cell phones and all that stuff, where you can't use them, and you're like going away for 10 days. Vipassana, I think it's pronounced like that. But anyway, and that's really about clearing your mind, because I see the Four of Swords as like just getting away from social media, collecting your thoughts, but also physical rejuvenation if you've gone through a lot. Because the Queen of Swords can mean that you've gone through the ringer, and maybe you've had a lot of stress, and the Nine of Cups is this welcome shift in your luck and feeling that things are looking up. So those, you know, the Nine of Cups, the Queen of Wands, and the Sun card are amazing cards, and you may just have to chill for a while as you go into your next phase. And, you know, you've had the Sun in your sign too, so that's the Sun too, is that can be your solar, that's, yeah, the new moon is coming up in the second half of the month on the 18th. So that is the new beginning, the new cycle for you. Okay, that's what I have for you, Leo. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you would like a personal reading, I have natal chart interpretations where I'm looking at the year ahead. I have a special going on, the whole enchilada, which is a natal chart with the transits, plus, and that's full length, 70 minutes long, plus a full length tarot reading for a special price. And I have other types of readings, like kind of targeted to one area or the other. So check out the link below for more information on that. And just have a wonderful new moon on the 18th. Take care. Bye.